How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, duggers and diggets? It is your boy, Dak908, aka the Dig Dugger himself, back again with more Monster Hunter Double Cross. Today, guys, we're fighting Basarios. Pretty cool monster. Baby Gravios, to be 100%. You know, I know there's some people out there who are really, like, into the I don't even know the word, but, like, it's not entomology. Or I'm thinking the wrong. Anyway, the whole aspect of, like, not necessarily like lore, but the biology, and you know what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the word. I'm not about that life. But there's people who are so down with the concept of certain monsters, depending on like who they are and what they are, like how they actually represent themselves in different factions, closest to real life kind of thing. You know, people who I'm getting ahead of. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Basarios. Okay, so he's just the baby Gravios, okay? It's just the baby Gravios. Gravios has kids, and his kids are Basarios. Now, I want to say this, a Basarios would probably be like a teenager. You know, he's not quite a full-grown Gravios. He has characteristics of a Gravios. So if you remember fighting Gravios, then Basarios should be kind of familiar. However, what sets Basarios apart from him is that he has a few different things. I believe he can put people... He has the poison gas, similar to the Gravios. He has fire, poison, and sleep. Gravios doesn't have poison anymore, and the fire gas that shoots out of his body, it'll do in like 3 farts. That's what we call him. We just call him farts, because he'll take a step and like it'll be fire, and then take another step and then like another gas of fire, and then another step and another puff, you know what I mean? So it's like farts. He'll fart. All right, on top of that, he shoots fireballs in a very interesting pattern. He'll just like throw his neck up and shoot them out, like all kind of weird. Like it's not like how the adult does it. He also has this attack where he'll fling his body when he rolls. He'll roll and then he'll do like a double roll. It's kind of weird. He just kind of throws himself, almost as if he's having a temper tantrum, like how a kid will throw himself on the ground. Do the same thing. It might be in part to the fact that it's just a juvenile Gravios, but those, for the most part, his real attacks. Those are the only things that really set him apart. We'll say from a technical standpoint, his hit zones are a little bit different, because one thing I did notice when I started fighting him today, and even before, was that hitting him, or him hitting you, for the most part, some of his attacks look like they will totally connect, like the tail swipes and a couple of the little charging attacks, but they will not totally connect. You'll see these things in this video. Speaking of things you see in this video, you did see my man limp away already. That's correct. Basarios is not a very healthy monster. I actually had to duct tape 2 videos together to make one cohesive video. Now, I know you guys are thinking, yo, Dak, you could have just, done a hyper monster. I thought to do a hyper monster. Hyper Basarios only has like 11,000 or 12,000 health, which is the same amount of health as a regular Gammoth, and I can kill a regular Gammoth in 6 minutes. So it wasn't gonna help much anyway, especially when Gammoth gives up more of a fight and Basarios kind of just, and I'm saying Basarios just stands there, just that, he gets stunned a bit more easier, and it's easier to see his attacks. I've been fighting him for so long now that I know everything he's about. Gammoth I've been fighting for a while too, but as Basarios, I really know what the heck he's gonna do. But Basarios, like I said, he's not very healthy. Standard Basarios has about 7,000 health if you're fighting him G rank, and he has like 3,000 health, I think, if you're fighting him high rank. To put this in perspective, guys, he has less health than Narakuga. Think about that. Narakuga, the cat thing, the one that everyone loves, he has less health than Narakuga. So, like, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Because when it grows up, it gets mad health. You've seen the Gravios video I did before with 4 people doing lockdown, mind you, took like 12 minutes. But, here's the other video I slapped in there as well. So, since we talked about those things, let's talk about the things that make this guy, well, the real interesting stuff, you know what I mean? Weaknesses and weapons and things like that. Pretty much, for the most part, the reason why people, I like to think, even come and watch these videos. So, contrary to belief, his primary weakness is not water. That's correct, it's not. I had to do, when I was told this, I was like, no way. I did the research. His primary weakness is actually dragon, simply because he has a very weird hit multiplier when it comes to dragon types. For the most part, when a monster is afflicted with a certain, not afflicted, but when it's hit with a certain element, the multipliers will go in increments of 5. Well, this one is actually, it's different. When I say 5s, I mean like it'll do 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. Well, for this guy, it doesn't do like 15, it does 18, and I think like 23, and like 21. It has really weird numbers, and like all of them are like that. And water actually has all the same ones, just at the increment down. So if For instance, if hitting him in the stomach would give you a multiplier of 18, with dragon, with water it'll give you 15. You know, it's just a 1 down. It's kind of weird, but anyway, without thinking really hard about it, just come here with either dragon or water. Water will probably be the easier one to come in here with, because Basarios is a kind of early monster to come and fight. You do first fight him in high rank though, so maybe you have some dragon coming off from low rank, I don't know, but come here with water if you're just starting out. It's not that big of a deal. When it comes to his equipment, though, his equipment is, I would say this, give his armor a miss, okay? I'll say this about his armor, I mean, it looks kinda, you know? But, I mean, it's not really all that good. It's definitely worse than it was from before. But it gives you part breaker and defense, small, for high rank that is. And it gives you 5 slots. I mean, 5 slots is cool. You could probably gem in defense medium because it gives you 12 points in defense, but that's honestly about it. Its G-rank variant is a little bit better, but not like too much. It gives you part breaker, defense, and stamina drain, and 7 slots. Well, defense 2, excuse me. To defense medium, it has 15 points in defense. But with that said, you can kind of come in here and make a hammer set. You can probably get like a focus talisman, or maybe a stamina one or something like that, to help with the stamina management when you actually use your hammer or something like that. You could probably make a pretty decent hammer set out of this. And speaking of its hammer, its weapons are kinda, I mean, it's just, this monster is just a kinda monster, you know what I mean? It's only rare 8, so it's not supposed to be like end game stuff, but it'll hold you down. His weapons for the most part have a fair amount of attack. I mean, they're not all great. Some have poison, some have fire. Like its hunting horn is probably one of its better weapons. It has pretty decent songs on it usually. I don't know for like a full-on, you know, for sure, which is weird for me to say this, but his hunting horn is normally pretty okay. His hammer, however, is not that bad. 330 attack plus 20 on the defense, has a pretty good amount of white sharpness, you know what I mean? It goes purple with sharpness plus 2, but only a little bit. But as it stands, it's not that bad. They don't have any slots though, so it's kind of a So if you're really itching on that, then you probably want to give his weapons a miss and just go with somebody else, especially if you're looking for fire or poison weapons. But with that being said, everyone, that's pretty much it. I mean, Basarios, he's not really that big of a deal. I mean, honestly, I would totally, like I said, give him a miss. One thing I will note for him before this video wraps up is that he is very armored. Like his whole back and head is heavily armored. We just want to attack the arms, the legs, and his belly. Because he's so annoying to fight, because of that very high armor situation, people normally just tend to give him a miss, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend giving him a miss as well. There's probably other monsters out there that's a lot easier to fight that'll probably give you better weapons and gear and things like that. So for the most part, if you really are about that life, I guess you could, but if you're not, then hey, I mean, it doesn't hurt to give this guy a miss. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Sorry for not uploading videos more frequently, even though I did make that judgment, say that I would, but I got caught up with new game stuff, you know what I mean? You know, Metroid and things like that. I was cracking out on Metroid and like Marvel Infinite, etc. But anyway, guys, it's been your boy. As always, take care. May the desired sense of forever be in your favor, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow, if I stay on track. Take care.